Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately. And honestly, who isn't, especially if you're a Browns fan, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors, maybe even some outright news about potential blockbuster moves that could reshape the division, and quite frankly, the entire AFC. And today, we're diving deep into a story that's been gaining momentum, the possibility of the Cleveland Browns making a move for none other than Kirk Cousins. Yes, you heard that right, Kirk Cousins in a Browns uniform. This isn't just idle speculation, it's a scenario that could redefine the team's future, and I'm here to break down exactly why this makes sense, what it could mean, and how it might impact the Browns' quest for Super Bowl glory. Let's start by setting the stage. The Browns, for the past few seasons, have been caught in a bit of a limbo, talented roster, high hopes, but still looking for that definitive franchise quarterback to take them over the top. Deshaun Watson was supposed to be that guy, right? When the Browns traded for Watson, it was heralded as a bold move, a big swing for the fences. But as many of you know, things haven't gone exactly as planned. Watson's injury issues, the baggage from his legal saga, and recent comments from Browns ownership suggest that his time in Cleveland might be coming to an end sooner rather than later. Tony Grossi, a trusted NFL insider, recently tweeted that Browns owner Jimmy Haslam called the Watson trade a big swing and a miss. That's a pretty clear indication that the Browns are reassessing their quarterback situation and that they're open to making some serious changes. Now let's talk about the current quarterback room in Cleveland. It's, well, interesting to say the least. You've got Joe Flacco, a veteran presence but not exactly the future at age 40. Then there's Kenny Pickett, acquired via trade before the NFL draft, but honestly, he's more of a developmental project at this point. Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Shedeur Sanders are rookies, late-round picks with a lot to prove and plenty of room to grow. And of course, Deshaun Watson, whose injuries and off-field issues have cast a long shadow. So in essence, the Browns' quarterback room is a patchwork, filled with stopgap options and young prospects. It's clear that Cleveland needs a more stable, proven presence behind center if they want to contend seriously this season. Here's where Kirk Cousins enters the picture. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, wait, isn't he a bit older? Isn't he on the decline? Well, yes, Cousins is 36 years old, but in NFL terms, that's still prime age for a quarterback. And compared to Flacco, who's 40, Cousins is actually a bit younger and arguably more capable of leading a team, at least for the next couple of seasons. His experience, his ability to command an offense, and his proven track record of putting up solid numbers make him an intriguing option for Cleveland. Last season, Cousins threw for over 500 yards and 18 touchdowns in just 14 games, despite a bit of a down year overall. He had 16 interceptions, which is not ideal, but he also showed moments of brilliance and consistency that Cleveland desperately needs. His career stats are impressive: over 40 passing yards, nearly 250 touchdowns, and a reputation as a reliable, if not elite, NFL quarterback. But here's the catch: Cousins has a no-trade clause. That's right. He controls his destiny, and he's made it clear he wants to be a starting quarterback in the NFL this season. Reports indicate he's even had a phone call with Browns owner Jimmy Haslam, pleading his case to be released or traded to a team where he can start. So, it's not just about Cleveland wanting him, Cousins has to agree. And that's a big piece of the puzzle. The Browns are a compelling destination because they have a talented roster, a solid offensive line, and enough weapons to make life easier for a veteran quarterback. Plus, they're in a window where a seasoned signal caller like Cousins could really make a difference, especially while the team continues to rebuild and develop younger players. Now, let's dig into why trading for Cousins makes so much sense from Cleveland's perspective. First, stability. You're bringing in a guy who has been a starter in the NFL for years, who knows how to read defenses, and who can keep the offense on schedule. That's valuable, especially given the Browns' recent struggles with consistency at the quarterback position. Second, production. While Cousins isn't quite the elite passer he was earlier in his career, he still can give you a solid baseline of offensive production. He's a proven commodity. Throw him into a system with talented playmakers like Amari Cooper, David Njoku, and perhaps even a healthy Nick Chubb, and you've got the ingredients for a potent offense. Third, the timing is perfect. Cleveland isn't necessarily all in for a rebuild. They want to contend now, and they want to do it with a quarterback who's proven he can throw the ball effectively. Cousins gives them a chance to compete in 2025 while also maintaining flexibility for the future. If he performs well, the Browns could make a deep playoff run this year, and the team might even consider extending him for another year or two. If not, they can still draft a young quarterback in 2026 or lean on their two rookie quarterbacks to develop behind Cousins for a season or two. Of course, the elephant in the room is the risk. Cousins isn't the same player he was in 2022, when he threw for nearly 600 yards and 29 touchdowns with just 14 interceptions. Last season, his numbers dipped and he struggled with turnovers. But in the NFL, experience counts for a lot, and Cousins has been through the battles, knows how to handle pressure, and can be a calming presence in the huddle. And if he can regain some of that 2022 magic, the Browns' offense becomes significantly more dangerous. Plus, having a veteran under center can help develop younger players like Cedric Tillman, and maybe even unlock some untapped potential in the roster. Now, let's talk about the potential trade scenario. Cleveland would likely have to part with some draft capital, maybe a mid-round pick or two, to acquire Cousins, depending on what Minnesota would want. The Vikings, after all, are in a bit of a rebuild themselves, and Cousins' contract isn't cheap. He's got a sizable salary for the upcoming season. But given the impact he could have, it might be a worthwhile investment. And don't forget, Cousins has a no-trade clause, so the Browns would have to convince him that Cleveland is the right place for him to finish the season as a starter. In the broader NFL landscape, this move would send shockwaves. It would signal that the Browns are serious about competing right now, not just rebuilding for the future. It could also make the AFC North even more competitive, with the Browns suddenly having a formidable quarterback to challenge the likes of Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and other top-tier quarterbacks in the division. For Browns fans, this is an exciting time. It's about finally having a quarterback who can lead the team, who can get the most out of the offensive weapons, and who can help push Cleveland back into the playoff picture, maybe even a deep run that ends in Super Bowl glory. Of course, all of this hinges on negotiations, Cousins' willingness to accept a trade, and the logistics of a deal. But the potential is there, and it's worth considering. Cleveland has been patient, making strategic moves, and now it seems like they're eyeing a veteran upgrade at quarterback that could be the missing piece to finally unlock the team's full potential. If they pull this off, it could be one of the most significant moves in recent Browns history, setting the stage for a new era of competitiveness and excitement. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Kirk Cousins is the right guy to lead the Browns in 2025? Would you be willing to trade some draft picks to get him? Or do you think Cleveland should stick to the young guns and wait for their development? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. This team is evolving, and with moves like these, the excitement is only going to grow. Thanks for watching, Browns fans, and let's keep the passion alive.